We see dramatic changes in inflammatory bowel diseases like ulcerative colitis, Crohn's disease in just 12 weeks. And as we note here, just by changing the diet, there's a dramatic increase in butyrate production at just 4 weeks. And I love to just comment on that because it shows us the body rebounds very quickly. We give it the right opportunity, it wants to rebound to health. There's a great study that highlights the fact that comparison between a vegetarian diet and the American diabetes diet results in a much greater reduction in medications, we can see here, greater reduction in weight, more insulin sensitivity. But the real juice of this study is that we see at the cellular level again, significant changes, greater insulin sensitivity, which we would expect, a balance in the adiponectin and leptin, which reduces hunger signals and fat storage. And down here, importantly, we see that there's more vitamin C and more reduced glutathione available. And the importance there is that really tells us that the body has less inflammation. The vitamin C and the SOD, superoxide dismutase, and the glutathione are all anti-inflammatory, antioxidant systems. And because there's more of them available, it tells us less was being used to deal with the inflammation from the diet. And so we see that the vegetarian, the plant-based diet is superior in every way when we look at the larger components of healthcare, medications, weight, insulin sensitivity. But in the cellular level, the vegetarian diet is also superior because it's changing the function of the cells and reducing the inflammatory load on the body. And we see in the note here that none of those changed in the ADA group. And so this is what, as a contrast, we think about this. When someone's diagnosed with diabetes, the diet that they're prescribed is an ADA diet, which does not have a tremendous impact on the major factors, but it's also not improving their health overall. Again, increasing their risk for some of the diseases that are associated with type 2 diabetes over a long period of time. Now, as we go out and look at more of the broad studies, the meta-analyses, and the population studies, we can begin to see that there are some very interesting findings. One of them I just want to highlight because it's important for us to understand. Most people don't realize that the leading nutritional deficiency in America today is fiber. It is not anything else, it's fiber. And so when we look at the sources of fiber, it's fruits and vegetables. And all of us have been told that we need to eat 3 to 5 fruits or vegetables per day, 5 a day recommendation. But when they actually look at the number of people that are meeting that recommendation, they find that it's about 10% of people that are actually just getting 5 fruits and servings per day, which means that people are grossly deficient in fiber. And today, only 4% of any age group meets the basic requirement for adequate fiber intake. The adequate intake for people is between 25 and 35 grams. And so there is no age group that is meeting those on a regular basis. As we've seen, fiber is critically important for reducing diseases. But we also see when we look at large population studies that as we get out to 60, 70 grams of fiber per day, there's a dramatic reduction in the risk for heart disease. There's a dramatic reduction in the risk for type 2 diabetes and all-cause mortality. Greater servings, as we get out to 10 servings per day, there's a greater reduction in diseases, which, if we're looking at 8 to 10 servings, we're in that 60 to 70 grams of fiber per day. And these studies, again, are some large studies that highlight, as we're moving into this new age of understanding of the power of food, that maximal protection is from 10 servings of fruits or vegetables per day, with a potential reduction of 7.8 million deaths globally per year. That is powerful regenerative opportunity by encouraging people and helping people through local production of food and reducing the costs by local production to increase their consumption. This one also shows the current results, again, increasing to 800 grams per day for a reduced risk of heart disease and all-cause mortality from stroke. And this one, again, is showing that a healthy plant-based diet, 10 servings of fruits or vegetables per day, has the greatest reduction in risk of type 2 diabetes. But even if we're eating a unhealthy plant-based diet, we see an increased risk. And so it's really the healthy plant-based diet that results in the greatest risk. This from the Journal of American College of Cardiology highlights the same fact that it's whole plant foods, the consumption of fiber, that reduces the risk of heart disease. But an unhealthy plant-based diet has the same risk as an animal diet in the risk of heart disease. So it's the fiber-rich, antioxidant-rich plants that are dramatically reducing the risk of those diseases. And the more that we get, the greater that benefit. And then again, just looking at another large study, that high animal protein intake was positively associated with heart disease and mortality, and a high plant intake was inversely associated with all-cause mortality. Again, eating more plants, closer to 10 servings per day, makes a significant difference. And so we have to ask just for a minute, why is this happening? You know, animal protein has the same amino acids as plant, but what's contained in the package is really important. And if we took 500 calories of plant protein versus animal protein, we can really begin to see the difference. Inside of the animal protein, we find that their animal protein contains saturated fat, cholesterol, inflammatory molecules like heme iron, Nu5GC, endotoxins, etc. And it also contains saturated fat, which is inflammatory. In the plants, we have no cholesterol. We have a high degree of vitamins and minerals. We have antioxidants and phytochemicals, and we have fiber. So you're getting the same amount of protein in 500 calories. And the study was done, it showed 33 grams of protein in plants, 34 grams of protein in the animals. But the regenerative capacity of the same amount of protein in the plant protein is substantial compared to the inflammatory impact of the animal protein on the body. So protein for protein, it's really a package choice. Is my protein coming packaged with high degree of regenerative molecules or inflammatory molecules in the animal protein? And this is just, again, to highlight that, you know, in population studies in people, that the mental well-being responds also to a plant-based diet. And I love you have to love the title here, Let Us Be Happy, a longitudinal UK study on the relationship between fruit and vegetable consumption and well-being. But it's important to notice in the conclusion here that mental well-being responds in a dose-response fashion. Again, every serving makes a difference. So from 5 servings to 6, from 6 to 7, from 9 to 10, every serving makes a difference. And so the closer we get out to that 10 servings per day, 60 to 70 grams of fiber, the greater the regenerative impact on our bodies.